Barda, welcome to Expansive. I am Yartomlu, and this is Mount and Blade Warband running on PlayStation 4, a game that 6 years ago came out on PC from Paradox Interactive. You've now got it through Koch Media, and as a result of this on consoles with PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, you've got the massive, expansive open-world RPG that a lot of people came to know and love, and has been widely respected in the Steam community. Having said all of that, even though you've got the multiplayer and the custom battles, which are a big part of this game, and of course the main story itself, you don't have the modification support, which was a big deal for a lot of people and something that a lot of people experimented and tweaked around with in the PC version of the game. So unfortunately that is absent, which is kind of a shame because obviously consoles are just getting into that market now, and you're seeing that with Fallout and you're seeing that with many other console games. But hopefully in the future these kind of things will be ironed out and future Mount and Blade games will be developed with that kind of modification support in. I'm actually playing as a female in this. Now there's an interesting sort of element to this because if you play as a male you do get additional attribute points, you get more kind of you get improved perks, whereas if you play as a female it's actually different and you actually get less. There we go, down he goes. Why Delilah? Now you probably see noticing the engine isn't quite up to the sort of standards that a lot of people might have hoped for these modern 2016 games. So like you've just seen Deus Ex, that's obviously very beautiful to look at. You've obviously seen, you've played the Titanfall beta and the Call of Duties. So a lot of this is going to seem a little bit dated, but it has been kind of reconfigured and it does still look but you still pick up quests. So I mean I'm actually just being given a quest here which I can then take on and do something with. I have to get a band together so you can actually view these quests at any point. I can actually use the touchpad on the PlayStation 4 like a mouse to look around, or I can just use the just with a average pointer. And yeah, you can just look at the sort of the character models, you can look at the game concepts and things as well. But I'm just going to jump out here and kind of give you a look around Praven, which is the main area that I'm starting in. And you get like an overland map, so you can look at all the areas around. I can join tournaments, I can go to the castles. I'm actually going to visit the tavern, so I'm going to have a look and see if there's anyone I can recruit in this tavern. It's a higher blade here, look at that, first person I speak to. So we've got 6 mates who are willing to join you for 1,316. I don't have that, so I'm just going to buy one of you. Okay, but then you can look around. This guy, I think, will actually, you can sell prisoners to him. So this is kind of how deep it goes. You can actually, if you can pick up prisoners in the game, and you can actually then sell them on for money, which is, you know, it does affect your honor rating. So that is something to bear in mind as well. Your game does have an honor system. So you can have a look at all that. You get wandering peddlers as well. They write songs for you, tell you about the marriage and nobility in the area. So, I mean, what is wonderful about this game is the environment is really well detailed, and you get so much kind of backstory and context that it kind of really helps create an enriching world. So you can kind of look past some of the other failings, like perhaps the engine is up to scratch, perhaps there's a few bugs here and there. You know, it really does paint this fascinating kind of picture for the main. So yeah, you can also speak to tavern heads as well, tavern keepers, and you can get all the rumors that are happening in the current area. So then you can kind of find out about other work and other opportunities. So we're actually going to go to the castle now and see if they've got anything for us. Those guards look like they're ready and willing to do their job, sleeping on the job there. Let's go and see King Haralus. My name's Delilah. Why Delilah? So yeah, if you've got any tasks for me, you can hunt someone down there. You get 300 dinars, you get bounties and contracts to look out for. So we're going to do that. And also that you notice here that increased my relationship with the king. So obviously by doing different things, that obviously will affect your impact and the people in the world. And you know, you can your particular areas you'll get certain relationships with them. If they're hostile towards you, then obviously you're going to get an unwelcome reception, and likewise if you're very positive and you've done good things for them, there's a lot more that's available to you. You might get discounts on wares, or you might just get feasts thrown in your honor and crazy things like that. I suppose the ultimate aim in the game is to assume the throne for your own. I mean, that's certainly something that is an objective in the game. But obviously you can do various different things, like you can get involved in wars and battles. I'm actually going to look at the arena, so I'm kind of going to show you a bit more of the fighting that you saw earlier on. There are tournaments that can be held, so I can just join this melee fight and get rewards for it as well. Let's do that. Oh, look at the typical female fantasy armor. Of course. It wouldn't be a fantasy game without it, would it? There's no kind of lock-on system with this, so I think that does kind of make the battle a little bit convoluted at times. I mean, this did inspire a lot of games at the time with its battle system, but I think as a result of sort of changing times, it's made it a little bit difficult to kind of enjoy this fully. You might actually find more frustration with it than anything else, and I'm actually moving the camera around as I'm trying to fight, which is a little bit annoying. But I mean, you can do horseback armor, horseback archery, which is really fun. I'm just actually getting involved in this battle here. I'm actually earning experience from doing this. I'm leveling up different attributes, so that's really cool. And it does seem, I guess, the character models, when they're kind of getting beaten, it looks a bit ridiculous. So that kind of does defeat the purpose a little bit. I kind of failed there, got a bit of a black eye. And I've earned the prize of 5 dinas for knocking down 5 opponents. Yay! Let's check out... Yeah, let's go there. And you can see you can kind of like looters as well, you've got to avoid. So let's try and recruit some volunteers from here. 10 dinas. Oh, that's good. Yeah, I'll take that. We'll move on from there. Ooh, look at that, see? Charge in battle. What's happening? So I'm being counted on by the king. Now see, it's interesting here, you're noticing it says about noble women taking in part of his army. Now that sort of goes back to the narrative direction I was previously talking about, in the sense that if you pick a woman, you are going to be struggling to get certain benefits, and you're going to get certain aspects. It's going to make it more difficult for you in this world. So he's not going to take you as seriously. So in this case, you might have to marry one of the lords, or you might have to prove yourself worthy against a competitor. Whereas a male, like, oh yes, you look strong. I'll come in, drink wine with me. So it really does make the game more challenging, and I think that's actually a fascinating and, you know, a very bold approach, because a lot of other games might have made the female character a lot easier to play with. So that really kind of incentivizes it, and it sort of makes the game, it gives a difficulty curve to the game where you would normally just have to type in easy, medium, hard, or difficult. You've actually done that via a narrative purpose. So that's quite a fascinating approach, and it's very authentic and very historical as well. So I'm just going to hail the guard here. They're watching me closely. I'm going to request a meeting with someone. Count Harringforth. There we go. It's funny, see, as you see the reactions to me being a female as well are influencing the story. You're going to be able to do it in the time frame if you're gonna if you've got other quests on at the same time. So it's not always, you shouldn't just pick up anything. You've always got to consider what you do. And as you can see here, you've got weekly budgets. So any wealth that I've had, I've now lost by having these people on my team. So I'm heading to the castle here. You can see I've changed my clothes a bit as well to address different people. So I've just completed this quest here. Of my recruitees, I'm going to go back to Praven now and let's see what they have to say. So there we go, that's completing the quest. And there's some more warriors I'm going to hire for my cause, just because I'll do. "14 versus 4, let's do that. I don't think they're going to enjoy this. Something tells me they're not going to enjoy this. But I am. Hold down. No casualties. That's what I like. But yeah, this is a really nice, a lot for you to do, and it's just a very interesting realm where you've got different characters reacting to you in different ways depending on your background, your gender, where you've come from, what you're doing, and obviously what you're doing with other realms of your relationships with them. There's a lot of elements of civilization involved in this, as well as other open world RPGs. So it's a really fascinating take on other games that you may know and love already. But I think this is something that's definitely worth looking at if you like these types of games. It's something entirely new for console. There's a lot to like about it, even though it's not especially the most up-to-date version of the game you could possibly have. But we've definitely been enjoying our time with it, and I hope you will too. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you've previously played these games, let us know what you think about them. If they're your type of game, if you've enjoyed them in the past, if you've hated them, if you think the lack of mod support is a real big no-no for these types of games, if the multiplayer is your kind of thing, whatever it might be, let us know what you think about the game. And don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll definitely be doing more videos on different types of games in the weeks and months to come. And we'll hope to see you next time. So enjoy.